There is no need to rush to your local dealer for a new Nissan Leaf. For a start, the Leaf 2.0 electric car is still more than a year away. It's also unlikely to be any cheaper than the $51,000-ish of the outgoing Leaf, even if the last of those cars were offered to fleet buyers at about $32,000. On the road, Nissan promises the new Leaf will double its plug-in battery range, from 200 km to 400 km. Further, it looks sharper in the bodywork, and its new technological wizardry includes regenerative braking, a rear vision camera and what Nissan calls e-pedal. The driver relies only on the accelerator for all but the most dramatic stopping. A short preview drive in Tokyo with Leaf 2.0 shows that Nissan has done some worthwhile updating, but it's still not a breakthrough car. Yes, the platform itself is carryover from the original Leaf, so we can use the same battery size, says Chief Vehicle Engineer Hiroki Asobe. He says rearranging the fundamental physics inside the battery, including the lithium cells, doubles the energy density. The car will accelerate to 100 km per hour in 8.0 seconds. For peace of mind, he says the Leaf's battery warranty is 8 years and 160,000 kilometers. Acceleration and cornering is already at a good level, compared with a combustion engine. To enhance the EV experience, we also introduced the e-pedal, which allows the driver to use just the accelerator for most driving. It has very smooth deceleration and can hold the car on a hill. The latest Leaf still takes 8 hours to charge at home, but Nissan is close to a commercial inductive setup, where the owner parks over a magnetic coil in the garage floor that's like a giant electric toothbrush charger. There is no news yet on the cost. Instead of wheel-mounted generators to charge the battery and provide regenerative braking, the new Leaf taps the conventional hydraulic braking circuit to generate charge and provide a more normal braking feel. Each Leaf, he says, has a cast aluminium case for the electrical inverter that's made in Australia, complete with a kangaroo stamp. In Japan, a land of nuclear power and endless traffic congestion, an electric car like the Nissan Leaf makes lots of sense. Our very short preview drive in and around Tokyo includes light freeway traffic where I can get the car briefly up to 100 km per hour. It is as quiet and smooth as the original Leaf, with real punch from traffic lights, although the ride seems more jerky than before. The car stands out in traffic, but I'm disappointed that the Stormtrooper-style white plastic panels have been dropped from the cabin and it's now filled with cheap, hard black plastic. Rear vision comes from a camera feeding a monitor in the shape and position of a regular central mirror. The camera gives a great view, but the display is disconcerting. Asobe says this can be fixed. I'm a great fan of the e-pedal, and only once do I use my left foot on the brake to come to a halt. At a traffic light. The test car is fitted with ProPilot, which Nissan claims is a first step towards autonomous driving. In fact, it's radar cruise control with lane keep assistance. The operation is coarse and jerky compared with that of other makes. There is no spare in the car, which helps with luggage capacity, though Nissan is planning a space saver for Australia. There are inevitable questions about the claimed range of 400 km between charges, but the biggest question for Australia is the price. Nissan Australia could have a winner if it gets a deal that works for more than a handful of early adopters and full-on greenies. It has a 12-month window to negotiate with head office. Subaru has unveiled the WRX STIS 208 Special Edition that is tuned to make more power and improve responses over the standard model. Limited to 450 units for the Japanese market only, the new model's 2.0-liter flat-4 engine has been tweaked to produce 329 horsepower, an increase of 28 horsepower over the normal car. In order to sharpen the car's focus, the STI's equipment, including a faster steering rack, Adjustable Bilstein damping and active torque vectoring for the rear wheels comes as standard. New 19-inch alloy wheels, a carbon rear spoiler and bespoke front splitter also feature on the S208 Special Edition, along with two exterior color options, World Rally Blue Pearl and Crystal Wild Pearl. A cool grey khaki finish is also offered, but only with the NBR Challenge package, which is inspired by the Nürburgring and adds a carbon roof. The cabin sports STI Recaro sports seats and bespoke instrument screens that are meant to underline the car's performance focus. The WRX STI S208 Special Edition is on display alongside the BRZ STI Sport and Visiv concept at the ongoing Tokyo Motor Show. Subaru Corporation unveiled the VIZ-IV Performance concept at the Tokyo Motor Show 2017, and most think it's a forerunner of the next generation 2020 WRX and WRX STI design. Of course, it won't look exactly like the concept car revealed last week, remember the WRX concept? But it could give an indication of the size of the new 2020 WRX STI performance model. Subaru released dimensions on the VIZ-IV Performance concept. The new Gen WRX STI set to launch in late 2019, if it stays with the show car's dimensions, will be significantly larger than the current performance sedan. The performance concept is 4630mm long, 1950mm wide and 1430mm high. That's around 70mm longer than the current WRX STI, with the wheelbase accounting for most of the gain. Despite the VIZ-IV being a sedan, no more than 10mm of the added length is behind the rear axle. At 2730mm, the VIZ-IV's wheelbase is 60mm longer than the current WRX STI's. If we look at the new generation 2017 Impreza's wheelbase, it grew by an inch to 105.1 inches. Both sedan and 5-door hatchback models are 1.6 inches longer, 1.5 inches wider and 0.4 inch lower than the outgoing 2016 Impreza. Look for the WRX and WRX STI to have a slightly longer, wider and a possibly lower stance too. Subaru uncovered the VIZ-IV with 20-inch wheels, with 245/14 R20 rubber. But the production WRX STI is likely to be fitted with 19-inch wheels as standard. Subaru engineers and Subaru Technica International will build the new WRX STI on the same Subaru Global Platform (SGP) architecture that underpins the Impreza and 2018 Crosstrek. It's a modular platform the Japanese automaker can adapt to easily accommodate the longer wheelbase of the performance sedans. The new SGP will make the body and chassis 70% more rigid, which will translate to improved steering response, and the increased rigidity of the suspension mounting will reduce body roll by 50% compared to current models like we see in the new Impreza. The next-gen WRX STI will also have a lower center of gravity, improving driving dynamics in the corners, producing a more dynamic ride. Subaru says the new global platform underpinning the 2017 Impreza improves crash energy absorption by 40% over present models. Expect the same in the 2020 Subaru WRX STI. The next generation 2020 Subaru WRX STI will get significant improvements over the current generation performance model. It will likely grow slightly bigger, get an improved ride and driving dynamics and increased safety.
With blistering performance belied their plain Jane looks, affordably priced Japanese sport compacts like the Subaru WRX and Mitsubishi Evo have long helped San Fernando Valley, California bad boys blow the toupees off Porsche driving dentists once the lights turn green. Though the Evo is no more, Subaru's VIZ-IV performance concept that made its debut at the 2017 Tokyo Motor Show indicates that the WRX's styling shortcoming is about to change. Sure, as news editor Connor Golden pointed out recently, Subaru has teased us before and failed to deliver. But Subaru has begun to coin cash far beyond its traditional snow tire and Birkenstock niche markets. And as a Subaru representative told me a few years back, we badly want SoCal. So, my bet is that the Subaru BIZIV performance concept is coming to production. And here are 5 things that struck me about it. 1. The face, aggressive yet elegant. At first glance, I was tempted to dismiss it as Mustang derivative. But after seeing weird Halloween mask attempts at facial aggression in the same hall, like the Mitsubishi E-Evolution concept and the Lexus LS Plus, I began to appreciate the elegant geometry at Subaru. If you've got good bones, you'll never need a facelift. 2. What were they aiming for? Subby says its design direction was dynamic X solid, which is apparent in the sharply flared front fenders, sleekly sculpted waist, and chunky hips at the back that lend an element of booty to the butt. With the 2011 Impreza, Subaru engineers and designers went through contortions to move the A-pillar forward an inch or so to create a larger glass surface and more spacious interior feeling. Looks like this has been incorporated in the VIZIV. 3. Safe at any speed. Subaru made sure to play down the boy racer image, stressing that the VIZIV is about enjoyment and peace of mind. In other words, safety. So there was lots of talk about its rigid body structure and eyesight driver assist technology. 4. But will it go, and corner 2? After exhausting his safety spiel and stressing this is a design and not a performance concept, what the Subaru rep finally said roughly translates as, "Don't worry, we'll give it guts to match its looks." Say, a low center of gravity turbocharged boxer power plant that generates over 300 horsepower along with symmetrical AWD. 5. Is that a rocket thruster on the back, or what? Below the back bumper, smack dab in the middle and flanked either side by twin girly-looking exhaust pipes are 3 glowing red hexagonal rings. Perspective makes it seem like they lead deep into the car's fiery bells, but what are they? Subaru explained that's a rear fog lamp but also a design element. I like it.